First, let's talk about our education system. School teaches us subjects like history, geography, and languages. But the most important thing school doesn't teach us is how to earn money. No one really shows us how to make money, how to grow it, or how to multiply it. That's where today's topic comes in. We'll be breaking down the powerful ideas shared by Robert Kiyosaki in his famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In this book, Robert explains two completely different perspectives on money, told through the story of his two dads. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is considered one of the most powerful books ever written on achieving financial freedom. Hello, friends. Today, we're going to listen to the story of a book that doesn't just teach you how to earn money, but actually changes the way you think. This is the story of a boy who had two dads, one educated and one rich. One said, "Get good grades and you'll get a good job." The other said, "Learn how to make money or money will control you." In this video, you'll discover why rich people don't work for money and how an ordinary boy begins his journey to financial freedom. If you don't just want to earn money, but want to make money work for you, then this video is made for you. So let's begin with chapter 1, where this story truly begins. The rich don't work for money. You go to school, get good grades, earn a degree, then find a job to make money. But Robert Kiyosaki had two dads, a poor dad and a rich dad, and both had completely different mindsets. When Robert was just 9 years old, he asked, "How do you make money?" Poor dad said, "Study hard, get a job, play it safe." But rich dad said, "Don't work for money. Learn how to make money work for you." One day, Robert worked for just 10 cents an hour. He got angry, he complained. But rich dad told him, "Life is unfair. Don't complain. Learn to think, understand." The lesson was simple. Rich people don't work for money. They make money work for them. When I read this chapter, I realized school only teaches theory, but no one teaches the real rules of life. So tell me, are you working for money? Or does money work for you? Let's move on to chapter 2, where we truly understand the meaning of financial literacy. Why teach financial literacy? People say money isn't everything. But when you don't have money, everything starts with money. Rich Dad taught Robert one powerful thing. It's not about how much money you make. It's about what you do with the money you have. For Poor Dad, financial education meant accounts, balance sheets, taxes, boring and confusing stuff. But for Rich Dad, financial education was a mindset. He said, "The difference between the rich and the poor is how they manage their money." Robert saw that. Middle-class people earn money. But what does a corporation do? First earns money, then spends on business expenses, and finally pays taxes at the end. This means corporations have more power in the tax system. And that's the power the rich use. Rich Dad says, financial education means understanding the system, so that the system doesn't exploit you, but you can benefit from it. Robert says schools only train us to become employees, but we need to learn how to use business and corporations to secure our own future. Chapter 5. The rich invent money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains that rich people don't rely only on jobs, they build their own businesses. The poor and middle class mostly work hard to get a good job, while the rich focus on building assets, investments that earn money for them whether they work or not. Rich Dad says, your job will keep you busy, but your business will make you money. Robert highlights an important point. Financial struggle often happens because people keep working, but never build a business of their own. Rich Dad explained that your profession and your business are two different things. Being a doctor or an engineer doesn't mean you own a business. As long as you're working for someone else, you're growing their business, not your own. The lesson of this chapter is, rich people first create assets for themselves, like real estate. stocks, or intellectual property that bring in passive income. Rich Dad's rule. First work for yourself, for your own business, then work for others. Takeaway. If you want to become rich, don't just depend on a job. Think of your own business, build assets for yourself, and create a system where money works for you. Chapter 6. Work to learn, don't work for money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki teaches that if you truly want to become rich, you shouldn't depend on just one job or skill. You must learn different life skills, especially financial education. Rich Dad says, rich people are always learning new skills, while poor people try to become perfect in just one job. Poor Dad believed, get a good job, keep getting promoted, and live a secure life. Rich Dad believed, try different jobs, work with new people, learn marketing and sales, because the more you learn, the more you earn. Important skills you should learn. 1. Communication. 2. Marketing. 3. Sales. 4. Leadership. 5. People management. 6. Negotiation. Robert shared his own example. He joined Xerox company, not for the money, but to learn sales skills. The most important thing is, before you learn how to make money, you must learn how to handle it. Rich Dad says, rich people play with money like it's a game. And to win that game, they learn every skill they can. Takeaway. If you only become an expert in one job, you can get stuck in one spot. But if you work to learn in different areas, you can build your own empire. Now let's begin with Chapter 7 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Overcoming obstacles, how to conquer fear and doubt. Robert Kiyosaki says that earning money isn't the only challenge. The real test is overcoming the obstacles that stop us from becoming rich. Many people dream of making money, but only a few turn those dreams into reality, because there are some major obstacles in the way. According to Rich Dad, there are 5 major obstacles that stop people from becoming financially successful. 1. Fear. People are afraid of losing money. Fear is the biggest enemy that keeps people from taking risks. But Rich Dad says, if you never conquer money, you'll always be its slave. 2. Doubt. People give up on their dreams because of what others say. Learning to control your inner doubts is essential. Otherwise, it becomes hard to make any decision. 3. Laziness. Many people say they don't have time, but the truth is, they don't prioritize. Rich Dad says, being busy is just an excuse for laziness. 4. Bad habits. A lack of self-control. Spending before saving. These habits block the path to wealth. Rich people pay themselves first. It's their discipline. 5. Arrogance. People think they already know everything and stop learning. But Rich Dad says, never stop learning, or you'll be left behind. In this chapter, Robert tells us that if you want to be successful, you need more than just knowledge. You must also understand your emotions and habits. Fear, doubt, laziness, these are your real enemies. Learning to fight and conquer them is the first step toward financial freedom. So friends, if you want to become rich, recognize these obstacles and remove them from your path. So let's discuss about Chapter 8, Getting Started. The message in this chapter is very powerful. It tells you how to take your first step toward financial freedom. Robert Kiyosaki says, learning is just the beginning, but taking action is what matters. Dreams remain dreams until you do something. According to Rich Dad, if you want to become rich, you must prepare yourself both mentally and practically. Here are Rich Dad's 10 powerful tips to help you get started. 1. A strong need defeats small wants. If your need to become rich is strong, it will overpower temporary desires. Strengthen your need. 2. Find a strong reason. Why do you want to become rich? Write it down, whether it's to help your parents or start your own business. 3. Focus on your options. Apart from jobs, what other income sources can you explore? Understand how they work and learn from them. Real estate, stock market, business, and research them. 4. Find a role model. Study successful people. 5. Be ready to learn new skills. The modern world needs modern skills. You have to step out of your comfort zone. 6. Work more, not just for money, but to learn. Choose jobs where you get to learn something new. Knowledge is the greatest investment. 7. Control your expenses and emotions. Along with earning, it's important to understand how you spend. Don't make decisions based on emotions. 8. Focus on one goal. Until you master one thing, don't jump to another. Focus gives you power. 9. Take action. Don't be afraid. Thinking doesn't change anything. Doing does. Start taking small steps. 10. Be a teacher, but stay a learner too. Teach what you've learned and keep learning something new every day. In this chapter, Rich Dad says, until you prepare yourself, no amount of money in the world can make you rich. The key message of this chapter: start now. Take small steps and prepare your mindset for success. So in Chapter 9, still want more? Here are some to-dos. This chapter is titled, If You Still Want More, Try Doing This. Here, Robert Kiyosaki gives some practical steps for those who truly want to achieve financial freedom and build something big in life. This chapter works like a personal action plan. Follow these, and you can gradually build wealth. Rich Dad's practical tips to help you take action. 1. Set a daily goal. Every day, aim to learn, think, or do something related to financial education. Even if it's just reading an article, watching a video, or reading one page of a book, do it daily. 2. Make an action plan. What do you want? Passive income? A business? Stocks? Real estate? Whatever it is, create a plan and start taking small daily steps. 3. Start small investments. Without taking big risks, begin investing in small things for the sake of knowledge and experience. 4. Track your personal finances. Write down your expenses, track your income. Understanding where your money goes is a basic step to becoming rich. 5. Spend time with financially smart people. The people you spend time with influence you. Rich Dad says, surround yourself with people who understand money. 6. Stay aware of the market and opportunities. What's trending around you? Which industry is growing? Where is their scope? Stay informed. Be open to new ideas. 7. Get a mentor or join a class if needed. These days, there are online courses, workshops, and coaching programs. They can be helpful in your financial journey. 8. Fight your fears. Don't fear failure. Rich Dad says, every failure is a lesson. Every risk can also be an opportunity. Taking risks is a natural part of the learning process. Did Chapter 10 still want more? Here are some to-dos from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So let's talk about Chapter 10 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is an extension of the previous chapter. The name of this chapter is, If You Still Want More, Try Doing These Things. This chapter is like a motivational guide, where Robert Kiyosaki speaks to those who are genuinely excited about achieving financial freedom, but don't know how to start. Here are some more to-do steps from Rich Dad that can help lead you toward wealth. 1. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, ask, how can I afford it? Poor Dad used to say, I can't afford this. Rich Dad used to say, how can I afford this? You have to change the way you think. 2. Overthinking doesn't lead to action. Take small steps. People keep thinking but don't take action. Kiyosaki says, make a small investment, buy a book, attend a seminar, just start. 3. Work on your strengths and interests. Do what you naturally enjoy and grow in that area. Don't follow someone else's path, find your own. 4. Stay away from negative people. People who say things like, this is too hard, or you won't be able to do it. It's better to stay away from them. 5. Develop mental discipline. To become rich, you need to have a strong mind. Control your emotions, stay away from both greed and fear. 6. Keep giving yourself financial education. School education is one thing, financial education is something else. Set a goal to read one new finance-related book every month. 7. Money should be your servant, not your master. Poor dad earned money, but then money started to control him. Rich dad made money and then put that money to work for him. Robert says financial freedom is not the result of luck. It comes to those who keep learning, thinking, and taking action. So if you also want to become rich, start slowly implementing these steps in your life. Final conclusion of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So now let's talk about the final conclusion of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the real meaning of this entire book. This book is not just about ways to earn money, but about a new perspective, a new mindset, and a complete shift in thinking. Robert Kiyosaki had 2 fathers, one rich dad and one poor dad. Both saw the world and money in completely different ways. Poor dad was highly educated but always struggled financially. Rich dad was a school dropout, but he achieved true financial freedom. So, what's the real message of this book? Wealth and poverty are both states of mind. Your mind decides what you will become. An employee or an employer. A consumer or an investor. Schools don't teach us how to make money. They prepare us for jobs, but never teach us how to understand or manage money. Buy assets, not liabilities. Use your income to buy things that generate more income, like real estate, stocks, or businesses. Cars, mobile phones, and other fancy things are liabilities if they don't make you money. Understand your emotions, fear, greed, and ego. Stop making financial decisions based on feelings. Financial intelligence means thinking with your brain, not with your emotions. Never stop learning. Rich people are always open to learning new ways. Poor people stick to one path and are afraid of new ideas. A job gives you only temporary security. If you depend solely on a job, you'll never be truly free. Real freedom comes when your money works for you, even when you're not physically working. Robert says, I recommend this book to everyone because I changed my own life using this exact philosophy. If you truly want to change your life and your financial situation, start today. Let go of small thinking, stop making excuses, and commit to financial education. Do it for yourself, your family, and for the better future of your next generations. And always remember, rich people create money. Poor people earn money. Who do you want to be? That decision is in your hands today. If you liked this complete summary and journey, then like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back soon with more inspiring books and powerful lessons. Thank you.